My front door is vintage, with single-pane windows, gaps to allow a cool breeze, and the structural sturdiness of a cardboard box. There's not much to love. But my wife's gone today. So let's go ahead and put in a new door. I don't really have a choice anymore. My goal is to get this door replaced before my wife gets home. And this kind of job, you don't really need that many tools to do. As long as you have a hammer, tape measure, and drill, you can pretty much do it all. I'm also going to be using a Great Stuff Pro gun and a line laser level, but if you don't have these, a 3-foot level and a regular can of Great Stuff will do just fine. Obviously, the first thing we're going to want to do is remove the existing door. Typically, the door is held to the framing with long screws.
How's this attached?
Unless it was like mine.
There are no long screws through these hinges.
Putting screws through the door hinges into the structure of the house is a lot more sturdy and secure than just going into the door frame. There were no visible screws or nails holding this door frame to the house.
I'm kind of impressed. I can't find how this door is held on.
The door was obviously attached somehow, so I just started removing trim pieces until I saw signs of how this door was put together. Underneath the interior trim were the nails that were holding the door frame to the house itself. The door was still going to be held in place by the moldings on the inside and outside of the door frame, so I started removing those next. With all the moldings removed, I kind of expected the door frame to just fall out, but it didn't. And that's when I remembered that there was a transitional strip between the door and the flooring. Now all I need to do is remove the nails holding the threshold in place and the frame should come out.
I haven't really seen any nails or anything to connect this bottom plate. So I'm just gonna, I guess, pry on it and see what happens. Push it away from the floor. Oh. Oh. Oh my. Well, no wonder. No wonder it's garbage! It's not even connected!
Since the door frame was simply friction fit in place, I went ahead and gently finessed it to get it out.
I guess that's it.
With the old door frame removed, we're finally ready to start putting in our new door. Almost.
That's a little bit different than I thought it would be, not gonna lie.
The old rim joist and subfloor had been cut away to fit the old threshold. That wasn't gonna work in my case, so I had to rebuild it.
Okay, I know this is a bit Frankenstein, but I got 3 new blocks in, 1 in each bay, just to give me something to set the back lip of this new piece on. And then I flattened out the front edge of the rim joist and went ahead and screwed a new piece up on here to level it out. And I have this bit of 3/4 inch plywood, and it's just gonna sit in there like that.
It took a fair bit of time to get that blocking and subfloor done, and I need to start making a sill pan. Feeling the time pressure, I worked as quickly as I could to fashion that sill pan out of aluminum flashing. A sill pan is used to prevent water from working its way underneath the door into the house, so I wasn't about to skip this step. With the pan in place, just silicone the seams and you're ready to install the door.
Go back to work. I'm not done. Door stuff.
Oh my.
So I didn't get the door done when I wanted to, but at least I had some help getting the door in place when she got back. The last detail I wanted to do before installing the door was to add flashing tape running down the rough opening into the sill pan.
My door was sitting at a little bit low the first time I put it in, so I went ahead and added a 3/8 inch piece of plywood here, and then added the flashing tape down over onto the metal flashing on top of it. It has a nice little bit of an outward slope so water will drain out, and then I connected the whole thing into these sides right here. I'm not sure if that's the right way to do it, but this house is so old that all the connections are very strange. So I'm gonna call that good and put the door back in place.
I found that installing the new door is actually the easiest part of the job. Using shims, get your threshold as level as possible. Then, using your laser or your level, plumb up the hinge side of your door first. Using shims and long stainless screws, attach your door frame to the house. Then do the same thing on the other side, also shimming to keep it level. Once we have a uniform gap on all sides of the door, we're going to use our expanding foam to give us a nice airtight seal. So I want to paint the door green and she wants to paint the door red. There's only one civilized way to settle this dispute. Rock, paper. This door was pre-primed and ready to accept paint right away, so the next day we painted, got our new hardware ready, trimmed off our shims, and added foam around the outside of our door frame. This door looks much better, performs better, and is much more sturdy, but don't expect to see me kicking it to prove it to you. We haven't done the molding yet because I'm going to do a bulk order for the rest of the doors and trim throughout the house. But even with some seams exposed, it looks better and it definitely keeps the cold air out.